I have a mouth, but I cannot scream because it's kind of hanging open like this. And it's like hard to scream if you're just like slack jawed like that. So I just watched the latest episode of the amazing Digital Circus, and wow, that without going into spoilers quite yet, let's just say last line of the episode, very fitting. But despite that, I think this is my new favorite episode. It's funny because it's kind of the most different from any of the other episodes. It doesn't have like a ton of like comedy. It doesn't have like the typical adventure you would see in an episode. It doesn't even really have like a ton of like character development scenes, but it's still just like what it manages to do and the ways that it like manages to be so different are kind of why I love it so much because it really does stand out from all the other episodes. I think what I'm gonna do there's like just sort of go over the scenes that I feel I kind of want to talk about. And so yeah, this is gonna be full on spoiler review. If you haven't seen the episode yet, don't watch this. But yeah, I feel like you should get a good idea of what I thought of it, at least my general thought, like kind of general thoughts from what I've said so far. But yeah, spoilers from here on out. First of all, the opening scene was really good. Like, not only was I like at first I was kind of like confused by what they were showing, but I was able to understand. Oh, it's like the building of Cain and the other AI. It's probably Abel. Like, let's be real, it's probably the fabled Abel, but who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that whole once I understood what was going on, it was really interesting to sort of see this, well, like pardon the word usage here, abstract version of Cain's creation and how he formed the circus. And the scene where we first saw Kinger and Queenie, like at first I was like, is this gonna be like just a flashback episode? Like just sort of showing how Kinger showed up, how he lost Queenie, and then maybe every other character's arrival before Pomni, which I thought could have been interesting, but like, well, I guess so. But we didn't get that because then after Ragatha showed up, it cut to everyone on the couch. But yeah, and speaking of, like that is definitely one of the best scenes in the show. Them all on the couch processing everything that happened, and the way that like that really does hammer in the whole does a good job showing the whole message of the show is that like what's more, I know that like one of the messages is definitely like finding camaraderie with other people, and that scene with everyone on the couch dealing with the aftermath of the last episode is really good. And I like how yes, like they get mad, like Zubul gets mad at Jax because, well, obviously people I we sort of figured people are going to get mad at Jax, but I like how everyone pretty quickly after that goes, well, doesn't matter anymore. What's done is done. It didn't wasn't going to affect anything. Now we just really all need to stick together, and that includes Jax. That whole scene was great, and yeah, the scene right afterwards where Kane just goes full on mask off and just shows, oh no, he's evil. He is the villain, and he is the villain now. And like, yeah, obviously it makes sense. It was built up throughout the show. It was a little sad that it looks like we're not going to get a Kane redemption arc. Like he sort of realizes he can't really give them what they want, but maybe he can at least try to give them something equivalent to what they want. But oh well. But yeah, seeing Kane, who's like throughout the show only shown glimpses of like how evil he can really be, go full mask off here was super intense. Was like super intense to watch, and I was definitely like kind of gripping the edge of my seat whenever it showed Kane like this. The musical number, the like too much, like yes, the full first full on musical number of the show was really good. I like some of the clever wordplay, like the way, again, Kane references "I have no mouth, but I'm a scream," and and obviously his VA Alex. Roker, I believe, is the name if I'm remembering correctly. Like this is definitely his episode to shine because he does an amazing job here. Like sounding like Kane throughout the way he sounded throughout the rest of the show while still sounding very menacing. And yeah, the scene of them all in the cafe where we finally do get the legit backstory for what's going on. Like, I really thought after the last episode, we're not going to get answers, are we? Like, they're just not going to explain anything. But no, we did legit get answers here. And, like, yeah, I was pretty satisfied with everything Kinger was saying. And it was definitely cool that now everyone was able to see Kinger lucid again. And yeah, I was definitely like I feel like I've said this like in every episode since episode 6, but I legit really did think is Jax actually going to abstract this time or is just somebody going to abstract? Yeah, obviously it didn't happen, but like yeah, they really I think that shows how good the show is at like keeping me in suspense and not knowing where it's going. The fact that I can still question is somebody going to abstract? Because I think at this point it's safe to say most likely no, but again, like I genuinely had no idea if they were going to actually go there this episode. And then like the whole again, even though I said there's not a whole lot of jokes here, I think all of the scenes with the characters trying to distract Kane while Pomni gets the laptop and while Kinger tries to debug Kane, I think again shows that even despite all of the fact that this is definitely the darkest episode of the show and how Kane is just fallen the villain now, the show can still be funny and Kane can still be really funny. Like some of the like insane things he just does with some of the characters like had me laughing pretty hard. And yeah, again, going back to Kane going full mask off, that whole torture sequence where he's just torturing everybody with all of these insane like essentially hell. It's essentially just like tortures you would see in hell. And it's like and yeah, again, I was gripping the edge of my seat like, man, where is this going? And yeah, again, when we got the final reveal that Kinger accidentally deleted Kane, and it just ends with everyone looking at the circus crumbling around them, wondering what to do now. Yeah, again, I am just very curious as to how this show's gonna wrap up. I do have a few theories as to what the last episode might be, what might happen. So I'll just kind of list off them as I kind of thought of them. One, they're gonna try and rebuild Kane and try and maybe fix him, but maybe they can't. So they're just gonna kind of start the cycle over again, which would tie in with again the stated theme of the show that it's okay to sort of live a mundane life and find the happiness in that. Which again they do touch on with Zubul saying that they want to really contribute something to the world, but Gangle comforting them by just saying, "You really contributed to my world." Again, just one of the things that makes that scene so great is how well the emotional stuff is done there. But that's just theory number one. Theory number two, again, everyone is saying how the other, like, everyone's kind of guessed, and it seems at this point very likely the other AI is probably Abel. They're going to somehow bring Abel back, and he's either going to be better than Kane or he's going to be worse or on the same level as Kane. And again, it's just going to kind of be the cycle starting over again. Or number three, which I think will probably be the most interesting, they all kind of just you finally master the art the what Kinger was talking about in the cafe with them using their imagination to manage to rebuild the circus, make at least a way where they can yes, they're all stuck there, but they can at least be happy, not and find ways to make themselves happy. And whenever somebody new gets into this, like maybe the series will end with someone new coming into the circus, but them all being like, "It's okay, we're here to help. We're here to help. We can help you with the transition," and it sort of ends there, which I think would definitely. I think that would be pretty interesting way to end. I guess we'll see what they end up. Like I said, I guess we'll see what they end up doing. So yeah, this was A bit traumatizing, yes, but still easily my favorite episode of the show. I definitely am excited to see how it's going to end. I'm not. We'll see if it manages to top this one. And episode 6 is my easily the best episodes of the show. And I'm gonna give The Amazing Digital Circus episode 8 an A plus. So those are my thoughts on the episode. If you've seen it, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.